San Antonio, welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host and favorite realtor, Brad Burns, and your second favorite host and third favorite realtor,
Ken. You forgot to do that because we've been doing so many just
Cold
talking.
starts,
And
yeah.
anyways, so we are here today with Efren Moreno,
Yep.
the owner, chef, operator of Blush and Bliss. We're gonna have a lot to talk about with the restaurant and especially things going downtown. But we'd like to start off just let's get to know you. You're originally from Laredo, so you're like me. I'm a transplant military brat. I almost called you Zane.
born and raised.
My son Zane. Brad, born and raised here. So what brought you to San Antonio? Give us kind of your origin story, your backstory.
Yeah, of course. So owner of Blush, grew up in Laredo and so close to San Antonio. We spent so much time here, right? Whether it was just like weekend trip or going to a Spurs game. So it was always just kind of a natural thing. You wanted to get out of the small city, get to the big one. So after graduating school, I originally was moving here and I was in finance. So I had a job here for about 4 or 5 years from 06 to 2010.
Okay.
And then headed back home and opened my first restaurant. So
In your first restaurant you opened in Laredo?
yeah. It's called Scratch Sandwich Company. So I had that one for about 11 years.
What was that called?
Scratch Sandwich Company.
Okay.
So it started as a little deli, sandwiches, salads, and then kind of eventually evolved into something bigger. So we incorporated the brunch aspect of things and, kind of specialized in doing everything in-house. So it was brunch and bakery, and we're like, you know what, this works for us in this market. Let's try it in another market. So
How did you go from finance to
right?
to sandwiches?
Yeah, I loved finance since I was a kid. Even, in high school, I knew I was going to be in finance. So I went to business school in Boston, at Bentley University.
Okay.
And I was like,
That's a big jump
yeah.
from
Laredo to the East Coast. Half of my family's from the East Coast, so I spent a lot of summers up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Philadelphia, DC area, and in Boston.
Okay.
So I liked the East Coast, and I was like, I got to go over there for school. So
I like the East Coast too.
yeah, it's great.
New York is
New York. So my brother was in New York, so it was great. I would take the train or drive down on the weekends and go party in New York and go back to school, and it was a good time.
yeah.
So yeah, graduated finance, came down here, and I was like, let me try to get a job. But everything was in sales, financial sales. So it was good, but it was also anybody could do it, which I didn't appreciate, right? Because like the guys next to me, none of them had finance degrees. Some of them didn't graduate school, but they're selling the same products I was. I was like, this is not right. I don't want to do this. If I'm just in sales, I'd rather sell for myself. So did that for about a year or two, and I was like, I got to get into hospitality. So that was the idea.
Did you have any background in
Zero.
hospitality?
Zero. My college roommate, best friend, his family had been in it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I got to see it firsthand up there. So
Yeah.
I kind of fell in love with it there, I guess. But
And so your first foray was just to open a
I
restaurant.
was like, let's do it. I did bartending school, came down in the summers. I'd bartend in Laredo a little bit in Mexico.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Yeah, bartending is the best job.
Bartending is the best job.
Bartending is by far the best
Yeah.
job in any restaurant.
For sure. Everybody should be in hospitality.
Yeah.
Learn what it's like to serve others and stuff like that. It's great. So
And then you know how to treat
correct.
the hospitality staff when you go.
You appreciate it.
That
for sure.
too, yeah. I've waited tables that was the thing. Rio Cantina back
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on the Riverwalk back in the day. It was
Yeah.
a lot of places.
Yeah, so you got to do it, and then I enjoyed it. I always like to host people at the house. I like to cook. I like to do those things. So I was like, let me do restaurants. It's definitely not the same. It's hard. It's a lot of work. You got to love it, but I do. So started small. We kept growing. It was great. Enjoyed it. Dealt with a lot of things like pandemic and all that stuff, but overcame those things, and we're like, we still want to keep going forward. So San Antonio was next.
Yeah, because so you had the one in Laredo open during the pandemic. Then.
We did, yeah. So we opened in 2013 in Laredo. So we
Okay.
had a good run of ups and downs in different markets, but it was good and just kept growing year over year. So went from 1,000 square feet to about almost 4,000 at one point.
4,000 square foot.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Wow.
kept every time somebody next door would leave, we'd take their space and keep growing. So it was good.
Is that one still open or just
I sold it last year,
Okay.
so it is still running, but I did sell it. So
So that's
yeah,
Well, it's always good to be able to exit, right?
yeah. I mean, I couldn't put all my effort into it.
Yeah.
I stopped going a lot less. I haven't been in Laredo in over a year.
yeah.
This one took a lot of energy and effort, especially brand new, and then dealing with the things we've been dealing with. So I was like, I need to focus all my attention here. So
So how did you decide on the concept of Blush?
So again, attached to Scratch was a bakery and brunch concept. So we're like,
So even there in Laredo, y'all were baking your own breads and
yes,
stuff.
everything was. That's where
In-house.
that scratch came from. Everything
Yeah,
made from scratch. So, we were already baking breads and doing brunch and all these kinds of things. We're like, we can take that part of it, which is like open at the great times of the day for us because we were, brand new kid and stuff like that. We're like, I can't be open till 2 a.m. It's tough. So brunch was the way to go for us. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. My wife went to culinary school, like, and she graduated like right when we got married.
Yeah.
So that was like the conversation. I was like, like a lot of a nighttime job.
Yeah.
that's always been our biggest benefit. Hiring people. We're like, you're gonna have a life. You're gonna get here at 8. You're gonna be out the door at 4. Like you get to have a life. Like it's unbelievable. Like
a regular job.
It's like a regular job.
Yeah.
That's been a big selling point for us for hiring and keeping staff around is like manageable hours and quality of life and stuff like
What
that.
y'all's hours y'all are open?
The bakery is open 7 to 3, all 7 days a week. The dining room is 9 to 3 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on the weekend. So yeah, keep it nice and easy. It's great.
Nice. How did you decide upon that concept?
The concept was pretty, natural for us. We weren't sure if we were just going to bring scratch up here and do another one or just lean into the one that we felt had the most control. So because we weren't sure how this market would take to something, I guess, more casual, we're like, let's take advantage of something that we can keep adapting to based off of the market. Sandwich is kind of tough. You're constrained to something more casual and like what people are used to, where brunch gives you more free range. Yeah. And that was kind of what we appreciated, right?
And there's a Gen Z, like my kids are like in their early 20s and everything like that. Yeah. And they have embraced the brunch.
Of course, yeah. I think even my generation, right? I'm 40, 41, and like I got kids. I can't go out at night, like I used to because you got to take care of, the young ones and stuff like that. So like being able to enjoy stuff during the day kind of works out really well for our generation.
Yeah.
So that kind of made sense.
That's cool. I take my son to brunch and he's mad because we skipped breakfast. He's trying to make it for breakfast after brunch. He's like, hey, so like we skipped breakfast. Can we eat breakfast? No, that was the replacement.
Yeah, that was the replacement. Yeah.
So how's things going down there? With everything going with all the construction and all those things. You said that you were just coming back from one of the meeting.
Yeah.
So how's all that impacting like just downtown in general? Even
downtown is struggling right now for sure. I mean, it's been an article after article. They just talked about a strategic planning meeting for the Riverwalk because it's the lowest it's been in attendance wise in the longest time, and all the surrounding businesses are feeling that. We opened in 2023. And shortly after opening, we got hit with the construction. Yeah. And we've been dealing with it ever since. So, you had asked, like, how's this time period for us? Like, we've experienced construction through Q4 since we opened. So it's always been a slow time for us. Other businesses, not so much. It's like kind of their boom time, like when they make 30% of their, revenue in the last 2 months of the year. So everybody's kind of going through it. And then we're about to go through another phase where they're going to shut down our actual intersection itself. So the meeting we just came from was with, our district council and city works to kind of see if there's workarounds. So we were able to come up with some resolutions to kind of keep some partial roadway open so there's access to the neighborhood. But in essence, there will be a shutdown for sure. So it's just kind of working our way around that and seeing what best we can do to make sure that people know we're still open, that visitors who are in town for the holidays can make sure they get down to us, stuff like that. So it's a large meeting. There's a lot of emotions and people are upset, but for good reasons. This is their livelihoods. We support a lot of jobs and families that depend on us to eat and stuff. So pay their bills. If we have these big lulls and reduce what we can kind of generate, they take that effect first and foremost. So yeah, it's tough.
And this is one of the things like how this with Project Marvel coming up and things like that, the votes coming up and. It's kind of the other side of the sword with that because Project Marvel is extremely important for the vitality of our city and the livelihood of our downtown businesses.
Of course.
But there's a lot of concern also on the trust that they're going to be able to do it without causing more like issues more damage, like this.
Yeah. I mean that was kind of what was discussed even today, like after the meeting, right? We have this vote coming up, and I think the majority of the people in this neighborhood really want this to happen. I think that it's a necessity for downtown. The Spurs should have never left downtown to begin with.
100%.
And, bringing them back is just the natural, chain of reactions that should have happened and should have never gone the other way. But yeah, planning was the thing that we kept bringing up. Like, learn from your mistakes so you don't make them again. You made these mistakes previously, Broadway, St. Mary's, and then here we are again, same problems. Whether it's infrastructure, not knowing where things are laid or what the plans are, if there is a problem and delay, you can't bring that to that other one because that's a much bigger project. That's what, like, $4 or $5 billion project.
Yeah. 5-year project.
5-year project that we can't have go to 7 or 8 years, obviously.
For sure.
So I know that's why comments have been made. Like, we hope that we'll have more confidence if it's privately run because private companies need to get things done fast. You guys are in real estate, you know how it goes, right?
We met the other day at that conversation with Lorenzo and Bobby Perez, and which that's out now. So if you go to Voice of San Antonio, you can check out that podcast, which is a great conversation about Project Marvel. But even like Brad and I, like we do rehabs and flips and things, and we have projects, and we know down to the day, like every day it costs us $100.
Of course.
Every day it's $100. If nothing happens, we just spend $100.
Yeah,
just in interest and things like that.
Yeah.
And with this being a private venture, Bobby mentioned like one of the things before is like they wanted to delay to do more studies and everything, where we already have the studies that they can look at. And their one thing was like they can't delay another year.
Of course.
And I'm like, holy shit! Can you imagine the amount of money it would cost? And again, it's not in any additional cost in construction, just delay in time. The amount of money that it would cost.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just rhetoric and redundancy at this point, right? You want this elongated impact study, right? From 30 pages to 60 pages. What is going to change for you to make your mind up and say, no, I don't want to do this? So they promised, 15,000 jobs, right? What if only 10,000 in this extended study happened? Are you going to say no because it's 5,000 jobs less, but there's still 10,000 jobs coming? Or you're projecting $1 billion in revenue per year over the next 10 years. What happens if it's 750? Does that still not suffice? And you're going to say, no, we don't want this deal? That doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So these are kind of all the things that, like, what is this impact study going to make or break your decision as whether the Spurs need to be downtown and we need to be investing in the downtown area? Like, I don't know. Yeah,
and I look at it like long term, the amount of money that the Spurs are investing in it, their current evaluation is another thing that he had said at that meeting or that talk, that is like right over $9 billion is what they value the Spurs at. And over the next 25 years, if Project Marvel goes through, they expect their valuation to be over $19 billion, which is phenomenal because that's what, like, you're investing in a restaurant. Okay, like if we put this much money, it's going to take me this much time to get my money back. It's all, any business is just what's my return and how long to return. And so they've said, okay, I can take our money, not government money, but our money, and put it in there because we know that we can get to this valuation. Can you imagine what the city of San Antonio would look like downtown if we had the Spurs down there with a $20 billion valuation?
It would look alive.
Correct. There's a reason why you want to go downtown. Like, right now, what is the draw?
Yeah.
My wife and I were talking about this, and I didn't really think about it, but the Alamo, right? They took all those businesses out because they wanted to do the museum, which I think is a good idea. But you've also taken away any type of attractions that like a family has to go down there. There was, Ripley's and all these different things that kids and parents could do when they're visiting downtown, and now that's not there anymore. Yeah. So what does a family do when they go in the downtown area? They have nothing to do except walk the Riverwalk, and that's it.
Well, we were down there for a conference, like literally right above the McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And it was 2 p.m. on a Saturday, and I stood on the balcony and recorded, and 4 people walked by, and 3 people floated by on the riverboat. There was nobody down there. It was a ghost town.
It absolutely has been. Yeah. I know the hotels have been struggling. I know 2 weeks ago, some of the people in our group had, gone hotel to hotel, just kind of marketing, and they're like, yeah, we're at 10% occupancy. That's insane.
And a lot of hotels have just dumped a ton of money into it. Like, just look at the Gunther, like, that got all redone. Yeah. I don't even know if they had their grand opening yet.
They did reopen. Yeah, they did.
And they're getting a pastry shop.
Yeah, there's a pastry shop on the corner. I mean,
the
people
Paris de Baguette or something like that.
There's people are still putting money into the city. We need to encourage that. We don't need to push it away. So I don't know why would anybody stand in the way. I mean, I know Gina has said that she's for the Spurs, and that's great. But then don't be the driving force that's against it, even though you say you want it. There's ways to kind of discuss this conversation that doesn't put this like negative connotation behind it, right? So,
well, she just wants more information on everything, and I think that's just kind of the delay tactic that she uses.
Yeah.
She comes from government bureaucracy, and I think she thrives in government bureaucracy.
Yeah, right.
Like you have a job if you have somebody that has to go over more documents and read more documents. Well, okay, we got job safety because we're always looking and evaluating because that's their whole job. Their job isn't to. It should be to make decisions, but they can live their whole career just evaluating something.
Yeah.
And it's and just we have to move faster in today's world. And I know like she's made the comment that like the Spurs have never said that they would be willing to leave if we don't vote this. But there's no chance that they're not at least going to entertain it. And they're not going to say it outright because that'd be the worst PR move in the world.
You lose all leverage if you're like, no, we're not going to move, or yes, we're going to move.
Of course.
We could turn San Antonio into the thriving metropolis in South Texas. I know Laredo and Brownsville, they think they're South Texas, but we start here in San Antonio. This is South Texas. Yeah. But we could be like the spot, especially with our connection to Laredo.
Of course.
And because they come here, they don't come to Austin. And if we have a great area for it to have a multicultural, international destination,
yep.
And then Austin can be relegated to the government bureaucracy that it is, right. And just be the capital. It doesn't need to be the center of fun like we can be.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, right, like the business is investing to grow, right? They're not investing, and loyalty only goes so far.
Yeah.
The Spurs have to think about their investment too. You know, where can they have the biggest impact financially? And if the city isn't willing to participate in that, they're going to look at the next best thing. So
I mean, you always got to reevaluate your partnerships and see what works best.
Yeah.
And there's enough ties to Austin that it becomes an easy.
Of course, and then the proximity to everywhere else, right?
And they've got they already got like the Circuit of Americas. They've got a Major League Soccer team. Yep. They've got a better minor league system. They're in a AAA with a nice stadium.
Yep. And then UT attracts a massive crowd. Yeah. So I mean,
hey, go Birds!
And they could like the players could commute if they didn't want to sell their house from here.
By all means,
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one guy took his NIL money. Speaking of that, and opened up a Ben and Jerry's ice cream shop, and his whole family, his mom, his dad, his brothers and sisters, they operate and run and everything while he's off playing football.
That's amazing.
And it's like that's.
They said Arch Manning needs to give his back.
That poor guy, man.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Like, he hasn't had the best start, but he has also never told anybody expect the world.
Of course.
He goes, why are you considering me? Why? He's like, you haven't even seen me play. He's been humble because, like, I think but give him some time.
Yeah.
Or maybe he knows he's not him.
He's going to be him next year.
You think so?
I mean, I think it's a lot of pressure.
It is
so much.
But
you got to live up to that last name.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
You don't want to be last name Jordan, right? Like same reason.
Yeah.
So.
Or John or
LeBron
James.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hear his golf game is like pretty good.
Yeah.
He's only been playing for like 6 months. I like golf.
Yeah.
And there's a YouTuber, Grant Horvat, and he played and like Bronny was like crushing it.
Just naturally.
Just so natural. And awesome. It's one of those things, it's like, okay, you stop playing basketball, put 40 hours a week into golf, and you have a better chance of
longevity,
YouTube opportunity. Like there's, digress.
So since the time you've been opened up downtown, besides the construction part holding you guys up, what has been the lifeline like that been? Has it been a good experience? Has it been a bad experience? Do you wish you would have opened up somewhere else rather than downtown?
Unfortunately, yeah. I love downtown. I still want to be downtown. We live downtown because of how much we enjoy it. But yeah, just for an economic and investment standpoint, I think if we were positioned somewhere else in the city, we'd probably be in a much different place for sure.
That's important.
Locals don't want to deal with parking and construction, right? So you pile both those things on, and then you also have created an area where like even pedestrian traffic from visitors is not even accessible. And you hear that from the hotel guests and visitors coming in. They're like, we don't even want to leave our room because it's a nightmare. You know, I feel bad for the Kimpton and, you know, the Plaza and, you know, the Fairmont Hotel just right on that strip. For the first year and a half, they had a barricade around them, and their guests had to walk behind their building.
I thought they had closed.
Exactly.
So
I mean, just in that aspect alone, it's been extremely difficult. So I know from just, you know, talking to my neighbors that things were never like this. I mean, they had depended so heavily on the convention business, right? And since construction started, I mean, we saw it for the first 2 months when we were open. Before construction, you would see the parade of lanyards walk down the street. Lunch and break, they'd come down the street, and everybody kind of go to their different restaurants. So the restaurants were full, and everybody was happy. Construction happened, first with Hemisphere, then, you know, that corridor, and then people just can't walk. They don't want to. It's dangerous or, you know, cumbersome. So they're like, I'll just find something close. And
it's dusty.
I mean, there's construction material everywhere.
Yeah.
You're literally climbing over holes and, you know, wires and everything. I mean, people have gotten injured just trying to cross the road. So
It's like the neglected part of downtown.
I mean, but there's multiple places like that, right? Santa Rosa has been under construction for 5 years because I lived at that intersection of Caddy Corner to Market Square in 2019 when we moved in, and it's been under construction since 2019.
And those apartments?
Yeah, in the Inspire. We and loved it, but man, it was, I mean, getting in and out of there, it's impossible. It's still under construction. Like, how does it take 5 years, 6 years to finish a roadway? Like, it's unreal.
So let me ask this. Somebody like remixed one of my TikTok videos talking about Project Marvel.
Yeah.
And he was like,
this is a dumbass I was telling you about it.
No, he was like, they haven't said anything about if they're going to give it to like local companies or out-of-state companies to build, kind of that sort of thing. Do you feel like, because you've experienced this for 2 years, like this has been a thorn in your side. Do you feel like a San Antonio company could get Project Marvel done in a timely manner, or do you feel like...
Absolutely. I don't think it has to do with, you know, the San Antonio construction companies. And honestly, there's a lot of regional and national companies that are operating in San Antonio. Sunt is not a San Antonio company, like, at least founded, and I don't believe so. You know, my wife's been in construction for 10 plus years, and she's worked for companies either federally, like around the country, or here locally with Joris. So they're capable of doing it. But it takes whoever's paying the bill, which is the city at this point, and it's going to be the Spurs, they have to put pressure. And there's timelines and there's fees, you know, that are attributed to not completing jobs on time. That's how this works. You like, there's $100 it's going to cost you. Well, that's what it's going to cost, you know, for not completing on the schedule you guys put forth. Somebody in the city is not putting that pressure. So if they're not putting the pressure on all these projects that have gone on St. Mary's, Alamo, Santa Rosa, et cetera, are they going to do that, you know, for a privately funded project? I don't know. I know that the Spurs need to, because the NBA is going to say, hey, you need to open the next date, right? They have a timeline. They have to be out of that stadium right in 5 years. So, I mean, there's no question about that. The job needs to get done and done fast. So, you know, I think the Pearl venture, the Silver Ventures, they want to get up and running as fast as possible. They're about to start a project in our neighborhood, right, at the corner, and they're not going to take a long time. They're going to get open quick.
Yeah.
They're doing mixed use and retail and residential, and they're going to be open as quickly as possible. So,
how far are they behind construction right there in front of your shop?
Man, I mean, they were supposed to have 100% completed all construction in that neighborhood before Final Four.
Yeah.
And didn't even come close.
And then it's just the cost of getting a street able for Final Four and then going right back under construction. Yeah. I mean,
it was the most backwards thing ever because yes, everything was per Final Four. City has to be accessible and people need to be able to walk and get around.
So who would you put the blame on? Without, like, if we could picture a blurred face, alter your voice.
I couldn't pinpoint it yet. I don't know.
Do you think it's mainly the city, or do you think it's the?
I think that there's multiple things at play here. I think that it's a combination of contractors, city, public works, and everybody in that pool. So I don't think there's one specific answer right now, and I don't think that it's been identified, which is kind of one of the more alarming things. So
What is do they have an estimated completion date now?
they've had, I mean, I think it's May or June of next year. But, I mean, who knows if that's going to stick.
Yeah. How many restaurants or how many shops? Because I know you're pretty tight with a lot of people down there. Like, how many can survive until this changes?
I'm sure there's going to be closures, unfortunately. It's just the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
And I don't count myself out. If we had, a bad quarter and closures and extended, stays, I mean, who knows? We could be in that same conversation as well.
Yeah.
Even as difficult as that is. I mean, we're businesses that rely on foot traffic and people being able to get to us. And if you make that difficult, people can make those decisions. Hey, let's go to the other restaurant because I don't have to worry about parking, construction. Can I get there? Is my car going to be towed or, hit by a construction vehicle or whatnot? So
Yeah.
I'll wait till construction's done. And that's the fear, right? You don't want to get to that point like you've already been forgotten.
Yeah.
And those, they're
And it's not even non-construction businesses closing, like
of course.
Kariki's closing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but is that?
I don't know if it's because due to lack of business,
that one's
but
yeah.
that was
Well,
an interesting one.
because it's owned and operated by the Pearl
Yeah.
itself entity.
Correct.
So like it's not like it wasn't a private another restaurant came in.
it still had to
I
make
think
money for it to stay open.
But they also may have another concept that they just want to keep things lively and stuff like that. So like
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
some things run their and I love Karaki because that's where my son's my son got married. It was just parents, grandparents, and siblings. That's it.
amazing.
And we were going to do it on the courthouse, and it was raining that day. So St. Anthony, we were able to do it on one of their patios.
Nice.
So it was actually really cool because we had all the the bride, all of them on one side in a single file, and then on the grooms, all of us in a single file on the other side, and then we met like a dinner for like 100 at Karaki, and they had they passed around like for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, chicken fried quail, like the whole freaking thing, just like boom,
amazing.
And then just like it was.
It's a beautiful restaurant, and they did some cool stuff. I've been to events there, and they've done it really, really well. So for it to not do what they were intending is kind of surprising.
So
it's an unfortunate thing for sure. But yeah, I'm sure the Pearl and Hotel Emma has another plan for it.
Yeah,
It's too much of an investment in a beautiful space for it to just
it's
kind
beautiful.
of
just to move it and everything. It's got to be, and it deserves to become a landmark institution for San Antonio.
100%. I mean, it was Liberty Bar before,
Yeah.
right? And it had its own name and history before that. It's kind of weird because you see the restaurant next door down on Grayson do so well.
It's better seating.
It must
Better
be.
layout, I feel like.
Maybe that's the case because, man, they are busy all the time. And like literally next door.
Yeah.
So why is one thriving, the other one, not?
It's also a little bit more accessible of a menu.
So, yeah,
know what I
economical and just more, I guess, crowd forward, right?
I love we get into these restaurant conversations a lot. Because it's such an interesting business. It's such a hard business.
Absolutely. You
And
got to be careful.
Ken's owned a restaurant before.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I was
I owned it was a franchise thing for a year, and then I have a lot of thoughts on food.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Perception is everything. When we started, our chef was from Guam, and he had a lot of influence in the menu at the beginning, and a lot of the names had, terminology from, where he's from, and it was intimidating for people, even though if it was the same, things, but
Yeah.
it would just, people were kind of shy about trying something they had never heard of. So we had to for lack of a better word, dumb down the names of just something super. This is just an omelet. Don't overthink it. It's just an omelet. It is not anything freaky, right? And it definitely made a difference just by changing the names of some of the things. So
Well,
you got to be careful.
I bet Zig Ziglar talked about putting everything out in a third grade reading level, so that way more people understand it.
yeah. We went off. You were going to say something about the guy that you were interacting with on.
Oh, just what he was talking about, they didn't show how many local companies were going to do the construction.
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk
And,
about how he was talking about corporations. He also said, like, you say the corporations are coming in here and we just opened up a Japanese version of a dollar store, and it's like, that's not the same thing,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want, massive investment, $1 billion investment to not come to San Antonio because they feel that the city isn't welcoming or willing to kind of help out if needed, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying financially, I'm just saying just in terms of like permitting and, being able to maneuver a little bit easier, right?
They don't like to help with that permitting.
Yeah.
The thing is that kills me is like, there's also this perception that it's just for the rich. It's only going to benefit certain people, and not everybody's going to have access to it, right?
Absolutely.
And they talked about this again the other day, but it's so true. It's like, if you go down to Yanaguana Gardens, that is everybody from San Antonio is at that place enjoying it. If you go to the Pearl, like the people going in there and playing in that little water stuff and everything, that is everybody from San Antonio. These big developments. That's one of the things that I appreciate about. They are accessible to everybody, and even like you go to the Pearl, like you can go find something to eat that's most people are going to be able to afford today. Like there's still like inexpensive things that you can grab and stuff like that, especially at the at the
Food hall.
No, I was going to say the farmers market.
Oh, yeah,
they got
absolutely.
I don't know if you've tried that. There's a Nigerian guy in there now.
No, I haven't.
Holy Christ,
It's good.
It's so good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I the Pearl, I think, did it right. My wife got to work on the Pullman market with Joris.
Oh, nice.
And what was cool is that they did a good job. And what they did is they went around the country and even around the world to learn what they did in the different markets to see what made sense and then brought it here. That's what San Antonio should be doing. We don't need to recreate this downtown, in a way that has never been done before. There's a lot of cities that are doing it and doing it very well. Learn from them and bring those things here. And then downtown becomes something that people want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Not avoid, right? So.
And then and that just brings in more tourists.
Absolutely.
Which then brings in more dollars, and
I'm sure that everybody who comes to town that visits, you take them to the Pearl, right? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's accessible, it's walkable, it's not too expensive as far as parking. There's things to do for kids. You can walk around. There's splash pads. It's on the river. There's so many things. Why wasn't that thought about here in the downtown
I
area?
guarantee every single realtor in San Antonio, especially during the height of the California migration, that it's not happening anymore. So don't think your house is going to be sold. But in the height of it, every single realtor was posting stuff and saying things about the Pearl, because that's the one thing that they knew that they could highlight in San Antonio that could bring in people from out of state.
But I think not only that, but like even backing down to a couple weeks ago when we had the conference, the Club Wealth conference, where everybody was coming in from all over the country. And so everybody's asking what do we go do in San Antonio? I didn't want to recommend anything with downtown.
It's good. What can you
Yeah.
It's because it's the
aside
same
from
thing.
the Alamo, what else can you really do?
Yeah.
So.
Because the problem is our suburbs are just like every other suburbs. If you're going to find a Ross Dress for Less, you're going to have a Marshalls next to that. You're going to have
An Olive Garden.
It's the same thing because it's the same corporations that are building the same neighborhoods everywhere.
But that's one thing though that I always will push back on when people are like local, like shop local, buy local, local restaurants, things like that. So before I was in real estate, I was GM at McDonald's. I was at McDonald's for like 10 years. So a lot of people will see the big corporations and be like, oh, I don't want to support that because it's not supporting local.
Yeah.
But like for McDonald's, for an example, so the owner operator is a local person. All the management are locals. All the workers are locals. Yeah. Like there's a franchise fee that goes out, but it's still supporting local business even when you go shop or support a chain restaurant.
Sure, and as far as supporting business, but what's the downtown should be, and it can and should be our our identity, our cultural identity.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it before we started, right? That there's a lot of cities that have this corridor of the arts or entertainment. Austin has it on 6th Street and Rainey Street, and Nashville did a very good job about redefining how they're shaped and they're booming right now.
Broadway's awesome, yeah.
Broadway is incredible, and we have those opportunities even in just Southtown alone with the restaurants and the bars and the art district.
Yeah.
But they're not highlighted and they're not brought up. So I think that needs to kind of be a focus point moving forward for sure.
That and what I think is the coolest thing that going forward with Project Marvel allows them to do is fully develop what's the Frost End and the Fremont Coliseum into that Western
I love
district.
that idea.
Man, it's like because that every school should be there for field trips and stuff and things. Being
Make
able to
it a big
expand the
center,
rodeo,
4-H,
have a
yeah.
rodeo for longer instead of the 2 weeks, have it for 3 weeks, or start competing and get bigger than what the Houston rodeo is.
Absolutely.
The
They can finally bring in different artists besides Nelly.
I mean, you talk about, just the rodeo in general. I mean, you can even, in some of the other more rural cities, the high schools have rodeo competitions and stuff like that. You can kind of keep developing these things. It doesn't have to be just the pros and stuff.
again, the cultural identity of this.
Yeah, we're Texas, we're San Antonio. It's a
It could be a Fort Worth
country.
Stockyards of San Antonio.
Absolutely.
but better.
Yeah,
Design
because you
with-
get to design it.
Yeah, instead of it can be like an intentional thing.
I saw a couple people say they're voting no for Prop A and Prop B because somebody said that they should build a hotel where Willow Springs Golf Course is.
That's wild.
And they said, I don't want to lose a city golf course, so I'm going to vote against it.
That makes no sense.
I think they should preserve the golf course. I think there's plenty of room around there to build
Absolutely.
For sure.
hotels and do the
If
things
they
like
built
that.
a floodgate on a quarter acre, they can build an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
But they, and that's something that a whole nother topic. But like having more like value put into our municipal courses, which is hard to like without raising prices and stuff like that. But like having a bunch of golf courses is a huge draw for tourism as well.
Massive.
Because golf is by far one of the fastest growing, other than pickleball, which nobody really likes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a golf fan as well, and you can't get a tee time anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
I used to remember I'd wake up in the morning and say, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to go play golf today. And you could go play.
Yeah.
Now it's like, forget it. It's like if you don't plan a week in advance, and it's like life is too hard for that.
Absolutely.
Best greens are out of town anyways. Like in Castroville at the Alsatian.
Oh, yeah?
Greens are smooth.
Nice.
I played in Comfort at the Buckhorn. The greens are nice and smooth. But then you go to Municipal. That's what I want to do. Fix your damn greens.
Yeah. Have you ever played in Laredo?
I haven't. That's a little bit outside of my.
You got to go play at the Max.
Let's go.
That's an incredible course.
The
Inexpensive.
Anytime.
It sits
Not
on the river.
anytime.
It's gorgeous and like really well taken care of. That's an awesome course.
I bet.
Yeah. Fantastic course.
So you guys live downtown?
Yeah, we do. We live Denver Heights, like right
Okay.
on the other side of the highway.
Nice. I used to manage the McDonald's right there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
On New Braunfels and I-10.
Okay, yeah. We love it. It's an up and coming neighborhood.
Yeah.
But the proximity to downtown, you can't
Yeah.
beat it.
How long have y'all been down there for?
Since 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've been in the area for a while. We did some flips as well in that neighborhood and stuff. So yeah, definitely.
It's a fun neighborhood to
It's fun. That's for
do
sure.
work in.
Yeah, I bet.
I had something I was selling over there and had to chase squatters out like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah.
My dad has some property on Sherman, and right there at where the men's academy, right there, Sherman and Jeevers, and then on Blaine, where him and a partner built a duplex.
Nice.
I'm really anxious for the urban farm to really get going.
Oh, yeah.
Right there down on Sherman.
Definitely.
Because with that again, that right there being in between where the Western District is, and then where Project Marvel and all of that, it's like all the little pieces are where they need to be to move forward with it to just really make something exceptional.
I mean, you mentioned New York, right? That you're a fan of New York. New York doesn't put these like theme parks in the middle of their city for people to go to. They create spaces people to hang out and just enjoy.
Highline.
Yes, Central Park or just places to really just be outdoors and walk around. And unfortunately, we don't have that right now.
Yeah.
And
Do you think San Antonio is the best place to have outdoor stuff like that?
it's hot, right?
That's
Because
because I was just talking to my wife about it.
But you know what? As much as the time frame is it's so hot here, it's too
There's
cold
also
there.
good-
It's
yeah.
too
Yeah,
cold
we
there.
have gorgeous weather from like end of October through
Yeah.
even May. Yeah.
And the only reason I said I was
Some
talking to my
Junes.
wife about it
Not all
today.
Junes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it today, and I was like,
you know, because we're Disney people,
Shut it.
and we're like, we should get.
We're not
I
laughing
told
with
her,
you. We're laughing at you.
I was like, we should look at season passes. She's like, yeah, I wish they were for both. Like, you could use a season pass for like Florida and California. I was like, yeah, you're right, because I would never go to Florida in the summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks in
Yeah.
the middle of the day. There, it's so hot and humid.
But yeah, in the winter, like you're not going to Central Park and hanging out and walking around.
No.
That makes
Boston
sense. I didn't even
Commons.
think about that.
It's brutal, and it's brutal from like end of November through June.
They have they only have a few months
Yeah.
that is really ideal.
Yep.
Their summer months are awesome, and after that, because it gets there's no sun to heat anything because all the buildings are tall.
Block everything shade.
It gets dark really early. 4
Yeah.
p.m. Like in the winter, it's dark, like pitch black. So
The sun's you just don't.
you get that depressed feeling for sure.
But it's so
for a
much
few
fun.
months. Yeah, it's amazing.
so much.
Yeah.
But like like you're talking about their open space. I don't know if you've been to their High Line. That what they took was.
I haven't, but I've seen it. It looks
Yeah,
incredible.
because instead they took an old elevated subway system. I guess not a subway, but an elevated train, and it's just a park.
Park, yeah.
It's a huge park. There's nothing up there but places to sit, and it's and people just walking up and enjoying it. It's like
Exactly.
something like that would be awesome.
Like when I saw the Project Marvel, outline in that land bridge, it seemed like that it would be that
Similar,
right?
Yeah.
very
You just
similar.
want to be up there and hang out and kind of just enjoy the.
How
park.
many people want to keep just sit and walk the bridge above the Alamo Brew Company?
Yeah, H Street Bridge. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, right now, I think you're seeing this big wave of people wanting to be outdoors. There's run clubs everywhere.
Yeah.
So people are
Great
looking
place
for
to
those
meet.
things.
That's what they
meet
say.
friends and all that kind of stuff, but kind of hard to just run in downtown urban areas or around construction, all these kind of things. You gotta pick and choose your battles. So yeah, having an area that everybody congregates makes sense.
What brings out the most business? Is it foot traffic?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're probably maybe 50-50 as far as like local to tourists. It might be the other way around. It might be 60-40, honestly, tourism.
Have y'all dove into like anything on the San Antonio restaurant page and had like influencers come in and videos?
We've
and all
done
that
everything.
Stuff like that?
Yeah, from Google Ads, influencers, collaborations with different companies. I think the reason why we are still alive and still successful is because we keep trying to do something new.
And you got great product.
Correct. And but the thing is, it's so weird. That has changed so much now. Like, you can have amazing product, or you can have great service, or a combination of both, which is what we strive to have. But that still doesn't push the needle. Before, when we opened first, our first restaurant, that was enough. You had those two things, you're full, you're lying around the building all the time.
Yeah.
Now you got to be super creative with your marketing. You have to make sure that everything is like as perfect as it can be, and then make sure you can get there, right? So, yeah, it's this constant evolution, basically.
What's y'all's busiest days? Weekends?
Saturday
or?
and Sunday, for sure. Weekend. Surprisingly, Monday's really good for us because the rest of the neighborhood closes on Mondays. So Mondays and Fridays are nice and strong, and then Saturday and Sunday are just like booming. So
Yeah.
So the other weekdays are on the slow
yeah, it's
side?
it's weird. It's cyclical, right? If there's some conventions, we might get a little bit of traffic. It just kind of comes in waves. It's definitely seasonal for sure. For us.
We should look at, I don't know if you have space for it, but we should look at maybe doing our investor mastermind down there. Because we did it
We
at
have a great, because of this amazing building, we've got the second story that sits 50 people in this beautiful room that
perfect.
overlooks Hemisphere. It's great. So yeah, we've got definitely space around.
Nice.
Like
Well, I
private
definitely have to get
luncheons
with you
and
on
stuff. Yeah, definitely be great.
Because we're trying to do it at local businesses. The last one we did it at was PB&J with Tay and Jeremiah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That room was a little small.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to just bounce around the local stuff and
Yeah.
get people that normally don't go to stuff like that into different areas. And
Yeah, we've opened our doors to everything. And what's great is that we close at 4, right? So in the afternoons, social hours, networking events, whatever, we have the ability to do that kind of stuff too. So kind of leaves it flexible. Not
Nice.
just if you have to do it in the daytime, we have space, but at night, it's free range. So
It's like everything. You got to have options.
yeah, absolutely.
With us, it's like you used to be able to have, as an investor, just do it this way. It's like, man, you got to wholesale sub to owner finance.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? We can be creative in everything. So
Are you guys seeing the market softening now with rates kind of coming down and things happening, or are you still seeing a lot of tightness?
I think it's going to be just like it is for now. and for another at least few months, maybe till through the into the next spring. Yeah.
Well, we got one last month, but it usually comes in a couple weeks before the rates actually drop. The way I see it right now, I think everybody's struggling. Like tons of local businesses are struggling.
Yeah.
I think it's just less money in the economy right now.
I ask everybody, like, what's your take? Because if you look at just statistics, and this has been since last administration and this administration, the numbers don't read that way, right? You know, GDP still slightly up, you know, and on my end, we were battling inflation, honestly, since 2022, like severe inflation on what we buy. And I've finally seen that come down significantly over the last, 3 months. To the point where I'm like, okay, like we're seeing impacts now as far as we change our menu every 3 months for those reasons to kind of be able to fluctuate. And now we're being able to offer, better pricing and more affordable, options because we're seeing these drops. So I just wanted to see if it was like that on the real estate side too.
So real estate is such a micro, economically environment. I don't know what I just said, but the San Antonio has been more insulated than other markets.
I agree.
As far as real estate goes, and it really would depend on the area. Like Denver Heights area has been hit harder.
Yeah,
There's
the
so
amount of
much
inventory.
Than say 78254 over there, like the Greater Northwest area and stuff like that. Like those things move faster. And so what's nice about being an investor is that you watch the market and then you go where the path of least resistance, if you will.
Makes sense.
So for us, we're not going to see necessarily the hit that Denver Heights hits because we don't. It's not in our flip box.
Yeah.
Like if we can find something there that we can wholesale out or something like that, then that's it's. But we want to make sure that if we're going to flip, that ours isn't going to be the one that's sitting on the market forever.
Yeah.
So we make sure that and it seems like we're tight on our numbers from where we're purchasing it. But we just know it's got to be tight on the selling at this point. So it gets squeezed down.
And
so
you got to make it nicer than anything else. So my philosophy is we have to make the $250,000 house look like the $450,000 house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way there's the bang for the buck in it.
Makes sense.
I think it's super tough right now for just regular sellers selling regular houses.
Yeah.
Just there's so much inventory, there's so much new construction that are offering crazy rates.
I was have you guys seen the reduction in cost of goods, commodity, wood and building materials? Because I know at its peak when we were flipping, you saw those massive spikes. I know that the what's it called, taxes that are being imposed, as far as the wood, the tariffs are probably affecting lumber, but
our rehab costs overall haven't really changed.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff we're doing is
cosmetic.
We like lighter rehabs, so floors, paint, tile, that sort of stuff.
Sheetrock.
Yeah, we're not doing a ton of lumber,
Heavy rehab.
If anything, we're removing walls, not putting them up.
Less is more. But no, I would say that's probably one of the major differences between what we're doing and we're not doing. We have a strict buy box, and if it gets outside there, we're gonna pass on it.
We
still work with somebody else.
We still work on the retail side. So I've got a couple clients that have their house in the market that we just go into it, let them know it's gonna be a little bit farther because whereas I was saying we get to kind of pick and choose. You as a restaurant, you're brick and mortar right there.
Yeah.
It is you're in the location that you're in. They're in the house that they're in. So they don't have in certain places, you're okay, it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah.
Certain circumstances, it's going to take a little bit longer to recruit. Somebody that, and this is just our market, they bought their home 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they're putting the house on the market now, they're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Whereas 10 years ago, if you bought your house and then sold it in 3 years, you're at least going to cover commissions and closing costs.
Well, not even 10 years ago. Just literally the tail end of COVID.
Well, I don't want to take the big snap up.
Yeah, but we had people that
abnormal.
Bought and then a year later sold and made $100,000.
But that was
over and over
anomaly.
again.
That was a snapshot in time that the government did a lot of stupid shit. and
Have you heard the stuff? The thoughts of we're not actually in a housing shortage.
Yeah, that's why I go back to the data, right? The data doesn't make sense. You keep hearing these things, but you see inventory at a super ridiculous rate.
we just hit 6 months,
Did we really?
which is the
Wow.
So that's the tipping point.
that was the tipping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go into what they consider a buyer's market, which has felt like a buyer's market this whole time, though.
Correct.
Which is and that's it's.
But that's because they
it is
go
what
off
it
of
is.
old data. Like
Yeah.
when you look at the data, you're not looking at now. You're looking at the past.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to evaluate now to the past. It's
so much-
tough to look at and do.
And I'm assuming, buyers were just afraid of entering the market just because of interest rates being where they were, but they were still historically lower than, any all-time highs. So
It's the media that controls
course.
most of that stuff, and they control the narrative, just
Surprise,
like
surprise.
everything else. Yeah. And like I tell everybody, just like even on the real estate side, like Realtor.com, do you know who that's owned by?
No.
News Corp. You know who owns News Corp? Murdoch. And they own Fox and
Yeah.
all these other things. It's like, why would they have a real estate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
course.
And it's just because it's controlled so much by the media
Yeah.
that it pushes everything else out. It's whatever narrative they want to push
course.
is how it's going to go.
So what are you final thoughts, final words of greatness about Blush that you want?
We're just gonna keep improving every day. That's my biggest thing. I think if we aren't trying to do that, then we are kind of on the path to,
Yeah.
dying. So every day I want to be a little bit better, whether it's the food or the ambiance experience.
How can we help you grow your business?
It's just awareness. We have neighbors in Southtown that don't know we exist, or we've never been here before. What is this? So just awareness where
Yeah.
we're at.
I was
Come
thinking,
by,
I've
see
never
us.
been there before. That's why I asked about the
I've
influencer
been
things.
there.
I
I've been to
haven't been
Bliss.
there. and I hadn't
I've been to
seen.
the pastry
Yeah,
side.
so I'm not Bliss. I'm just Blush.
Oh, you're not Bliss?
No, I'm not Bliss.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Blush. Yeah. So with the bakery side and the restaurant side.
I was just saying.
Yeah. No, Bliss is about 3 blocks down on us. They're the fine dining, and they've been around for like
No,
15
I'm saying the
years.
wrong thing then.
Yeah, just Blush.
Blush is the bakery on the side?
Yeah, so both of them. Yeah, this is the
I
same.
thought you. My
Same business. No,
so
yeah.
I've been to your bakery side.
Yeah, so you've been the bakery side, not to the restaurant side. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I haven't been
so
to Bliss.
there you go.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I was naming it.
What all
Yeah.
do y'all do in the bakery? What y'all specialties?
French style pastry. We do a little bit of everything, but it's French based. So croissants, and then it just kind of goes from there. Great coffee and matchas and stuff like that, and like all that baked stuff gets folded into the restaurant side. So everything we use, for the restaurant is baked fresh every day. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little operation.
Does y'all's upstairs space fill up on the weekends?
So right now we use the upstairs space primarily for just private stuff.
Okay.
You want to have a baby shower, or you have a birthday, 30, 40 guests, stuff like that. We've used the space in the evenings for weddings because we can fit 200 plus people. So yeah, it's a lot of flexibility there. And then hopefully once construction's done, we'd like to open up for dinner next year at some point. So
We'll definitely have to get with you on that because we do pictures with Santa every year for a client
amazing.
event.
Nice.
And we usually bring out, let's say, 50 to 100 people,
That'd be
like
incredible.
throughout a few hour period.
Yeah.
Like they don't stay the whole time. Like they'll come and go and things like that. And where we were gonna do it at ended up moving. Like we were gonna do it here, but they got something else going on. But I don't know. Maybe that'll help just bring
By
more
all
people
means,
in your
that'd be
door.
absolutely incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure out. We'll talk on it offline.
So as we wrap up, we always ask the same 2 questions to everybody, and this is always it's always harder for the restaurateurs, but I don't think it'll be as much of a conflict. But you have a lot of friends. So the first is best burger in San Antonio.
That's a tough one. Aside from ours,
That's the thing. It's
yeah.
like,
Aside from ours, I like Double Standards Burger. Actually, it's pretty legit.
we haven't had that one.
Yeah, they have a nice little happy hour like every day, and they do a pretty good burger.
I've heard
They're
of
on
them.
Houston Street.
I'll
They
check
took
that
over
out.
the old Rosella on the Rand, right there in front of like
That's
where.
where, yeah.
Yeah, so they have a pretty good burger. Had Pumpers Burgers They're
I've heard that's Jason Dady gave them some props.
Yeah, so those two are pretty decent, I think.
We always say Mr. Juicy because
Mr. Juicy's good too.
just kind of our thing.
Yeah.
And we're pretty tight with Andrew too. Right?
Oh yeah, I would check out Double Standards Burger. It's pretty good.
I have to try that out.
It's like a $10 burger or something. It's pretty inexpensive. They do a great happy hour. They were doing like $1 martinis and oysters.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tell my kids.
Yeah.
And the second thing is best breakfast taco in San Antonio. What's your favorite? Where's your go-to spot?
You live in the right area, so
I do. Con huevos is pretty damn awesome. You familiar with that one?
Haven't heard of that one.
So it's on the east side on Commerce Street.
Have you heard of that one?
It's a little shack-ish, but they've been on Netflix.
I've heard of it. I haven't been there.
Yeah, for like best tacos.
One of my spots in that area is it used to be called Taco Haven. It's not the Southtown one. There was another one on Gevers. And they changed it to Jalisco number 4. But they have it's called an Esme Fave. It's potatoes, the gravy from the carne guisada, bacon and cheese. It's so good. And the potatoes are they're cooked with like peppers and onions and like so they're spicy like
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, con huevos for sure.
Con huevos.
I have to try that one out.
Yeah.
Cool. I love we get 2 new ones.
Yeah.
New places.
Gives
to
us
try.
homework.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Do us a favor, hit like and subscribe.
Follow Blush.
Follow
Appreciate it.
Blush. Check them out. Battle the Construction. It'll be worth it.
Vote yes for Proposition A, B,
Yeah,
whatever it
yes.
is.
A and B.
A and B.
Cool. See y'all later.
Awesome.